Hey Jonas, what's up? Exactly, you gotta love it. WoW on a Saturday, it doesn't get any better than that. Gotta clean up my inventory a little bit. We can also upgrade our type of mana drink that we're using. Sell.
What brings you here? Good luck, friend.
Went to where? Wailing Caverns?
What's on your mind?
Are you talking about the shield? I bought it. Yeah, the Worn Turtle shield. Yeah, I bought it off of the auction house. It's a cool looking shield, though. I like it. You know. I like it. I dig it. Yeah, I almost bought that. The Green Tower. It's, I think, the cheapest I've seen. I think I saw it for 30, like 35 gold. If I could get it down, if I could get it for like 20 gold, I'd probably buy it, but I don't want to pay 35 gold for it. I've got tons of gear. I mean, I've got tons of gear waiting for this character. I have a horde character. I have horde characters on a horde WoW account. So what I do is I buy stuff on the horde auction house that sells really cheap, and I sell it on the Alliance auction house. Like I just bought 2 Lightforge belts today for like 5 gold a piece, and those are selling for like 20 to 30 gold on the Alliance side. So that's how I'm making money right now. Just buying stuff off the horde, and then what I do is I just transfer it from I just transfer it over on like a neutral auction house. Yeah, I like this. This shield's really cool looking. It looks nice with the blue tabard. Blue and green are always such good complementary colors. Yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be a good session today. We can level up, definitely get past level 20, get our consecration. See how far we can go.
Lovely.
Big damage. I don't think my fiery is procced yet. They are finally procced. Yeah, we'll tank some dead mines once we get to maybe 20, level 21, 22. Actually, once we get to level 20, I'm sure we'll be able to tank it just fine. I'm not. I enjoy the relaxing aspect of playing solo, of just doing my own thing. The only reason I do dungeons is because later on I actually like dungeons, but early on the dungeons really aren't. The only real reason to do them early on is just for the experience, because any gear you get, you're going to eclipse pretty quickly. You out level gear fast at low levels. So no ore in there. I was looking for some copper ore. They have anti-Paladin? What? They have a ton of anti-Paladin? tank. I'm not sure what you're saying. The undead have anti-paladin? Paladins shine in the undead in Skolamons. Paladins shine in, you know, Strath and Skolamons. They're the best tanks for those dungeons. Gotta finish the dumbbell workout. Alright. I haven't worked out in about a week. I need to work out. I usually try to work out a couple times a week just to maintain, you know, but been lazy lately. Thanks, man. Have a good one. Have a good day, Jonas. I'll probably work out this weekend at some point. Yeah, definitely are. I've got all the dumbbells are right behind me, man. I've got a whole set of dumbbells right behind my computer desk here. Right in front of all my guitars. And I've got about 7 guitars behind me, a full set of dumbbells.
Lovely. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
It feels like my holy light is really weak. There's a part where your holy light's really weak. Yeah, that's because Avail right now is like, that's why it felt so weak, because we need to train it. We're gonna wait though until we hit 16. In 16 we get Retribution Aura, which is gonna be nice for us. Alright, we need to take out Grizzly Scalp, Fine Moonstalker Pelts. Oh yeah, we need to grab this as well. We'll see.
Lovely.
I hit him while I was laying flat on my back. Did you see that? I literally was laying flat on my back and swung up and hit the bear. That was hilarious.
Lovely.
Hey, what's up, Lenny? Just doing the grind, man, the grind. Grind is real. Oh, nasty. What, you mean you want to grind on
You can
Alex?
kiss your ass goodbye.
Are you telling me that Alex is your little buddy? That's your scene, dude, not mine. I'll grind on him with like a freaking hammer. I'll bash his head into the concrete with a hammer. That's the evil. The evil. The evil. I'll grind his head into the ground. Yeah. Then there is that to consider. That kind of hurt my throat, didn't it? Yeah, that's called like crushing his skull into a little red pulp on the pavement. I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I would never hurt a 5'3" Adonis. Oh, man. Sorry, somebody's putting some crazy videos in the stream, in the Discord. God, yeah, let's not talk. I'm gonna put you in timeout if you don't stop talking about that douchebag. You get one warning, Lenny. If you don't stop talking about bringing up that idiot in my stream chat, you're gonna get put in timeout. I don't want to talk about that guy. He's a fucking wasted. He's not worth wasting my breath on. Yeah, go ahead and heal yourself. Go ahead and heal yourself. You're a smart man. Most people don't listen. And of course.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I see that. Need to. This
You were
heals.
screwed.
Yeah, the heal's hardly worth even using at this level.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Plus, this guy brought his friends. He brought his friends.
You were screwed.
Ooh, Dingorama. $16. 2 more levels. Until I can use this level 18 axe, but I'm not sure it's going to out DPS my fiery enchant weapon. It should, but we'll see. If it doesn't, we'll just use the fiery weapon. Doesn't really matter to me. Paladins, well, the biggest thing for me for the protection paladin is level 20, because level 20 will have a consecration. And even though a lot of people, most people that are leveling Paladin aren't going to go the way I'm going. I'm going with my full protection build. Most people would level like Retribution, just because it's faster. But that's fine. I enjoy Prot, so I'll level Prot. But it's definitely a lot slower. Not a lot slower, but definitely. Well, yeah, it's quite a bit slower.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed.
Ooh. Some serious audio alerts I got going on there. You are screwed. It's so ominous. I don't know what zombie co-op is, but you knock yourself out. One tree. That's a good name. I like it.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Shit.
You were screwed.
Let me try to take this guy out.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. Lovely.
That was fortuitous timing. So 16, yeah. Hey boss, what's up? How you doing? Nice buffs. Excuse me.
Lovely. Lovely.
Whiff.
Lovely.
Hmm. 17, 16. Hold on a second. Thought my wife was calling me. Robert Jordan? I don't know. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Robert Jordan, but I'm not sure if that was what his favorite class was.
Lovely.
Why would that be his favorite class? I didn't even know. Does Robert Jordan play Dungeons and Dragons? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if I can take out. These guys might be a little too tough for me. They're not going to root me, though.
Lovely. Lovely.
Oh, do you work in a bookstore? Yeah, Robert Jordan's the man. I've read books 1 through 9 twice. I've read books 1 through 9 on Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time twice. I first started reading Robert Jordan. Oh man, I didn't really want to get this level 20. I first started reading Robert Jordan when I was in college, I think. I mean, it was a long time ago. I was reading Robert Jordan a long time ago.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, this guy's gonna shred me.
You were screwed.
My heel's too
You
low.
were screwed. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, I don't. Most of my paperback Robert Jordans I ended up giving away, I think. I've always wanted to buy like kind of like a book set. I have some really old. I actually have a really old edition. Some really old edition of some of the Lord of the Rings books. Some really old editions, which are really cool. The art on one of the books in particular is really nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Michael Moorcock. I love the Elric of Melnibone, the book series. A big fan of Michael Moorcock. Big fan of Stephen R. Donaldson. Big fan of Robert Jordan. Big fan of Terry Brooks. You know. Ooh, nice. Some Rumsey Rum is always a welcome addition to our buff library. Let's do. Well, there's a lot of fantasy writers. I haven't really read much lately. I've got a bunch of books on my shelf here that I need to read. I've got Mistborn that I need to read, which is the guy that finished the Robert Jordan series, that writer. And then I've got some Terry Brooks book series that I haven't finished that I need to read. So I definitely have books. Something I need to spend more time doing is reading, you know. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I love Michael Moorcock's books. I really love the multiverse. You know, I love the idea that, and it's not the multiverse in that like every like different verse is the same. Just, you know, it's not like multiple Earths. You know what I mean? It's like different planes. It's not really multiverse. It's different planes of existence. So some planes could be a plane full of demons and devils. Another plane could be a plane of humanoids, and I like that they're all accessible via magic, and that only the most powerful of magic users can actually open up the portals to actually go there. Oh God, House of Dragons. I mean, House of Dragons so blatantly copies Elric. It's like ridiculous. What's the guy's name in House of Dragons? Let's see. Here, Daemon. Yeah, look, Daemon Targaryen is Elric of Melniboné. This is the first time I've ever searched it up, but this is what Elric looks like, right? It's a very common picture of Elric, right? Have you seen the armor that Daemon Targaryen is wearing in House of Dragons? I mean, come on, look at this. Hello. This is really Elric, right? I mean, look at his armor, right? I mean, Elric has the dragon helm, right? It's common in the actual Elric books. I've got this art. This is really good. It's common in the art in the books to talk about Elric's the dragon helm and kind of his armor and what it looks like. I mean, it's unbelievable how Daemon is like a complete copy of Elric. It's like so like ridiculous. All right, what else do we need to do? We're not going to bother. We need the 5 crab chunks. That's fine. Let's get the grizzly scalps and the moonstalker pelts, and then we'll do the crab chunks, and then we're pretty much out of here. There is a beach sea creature. There is a couple beach sea creatures we can do as well, and then we're out of here. Yeah, he's still alive. He is still alive. I've talked to the community manager on his website, who's a really nice person. Actually, they're really, really nice. Seems like Michael Moorcock is very open to communication with people about his IP, you know, and but yeah, he apparently hasn't sued these people. I mean, I would. I mean, I probably would, to be honest, because it's such a blatant ripoff. I mean, I would just say, hey, if you're gonna make a character look exactly like my character from my books, you might as well at least give me some royalties for it, you know? Come on, you know? Has he trashed people? Yeah, Elric's been copied so many times. I mean, even like World of Warcraft has copied Elric. I mean, even when you look at like Death Knights, you could say that they in some way copied Elric. You know what I mean?
Lovely.
Well, what's his name? And the whole Game of Thrones writer has ripped off a ton of stuff from Michael
Kiss your
Moorcock.
ass goodbye. You were screwed.
Yeah. But you know, it's fine. I mean, everybody copies everybody. That's you know, art inspires art, right? That's just the way it works. But it is a little, you don't want to be so blatant, you know? But yeah, I'm a big fan of Michael Moorcock's books, and
Lovely.
love the stories. The different gods, the ability to like basically trap demons into armor, into swords, the ability to summon all these different lords of chaos. It's just really cool stuff. And the cool thing is that stuff's in. That's why I've always felt that the Stormbringer role-playing game was like the best role-playing game, just because it's so interesting. Lehman Russ. Lehman Russ. I don't know who Lehman Russ is. It's Warhammer. He looks a little more barbarian, you know what I mean, for lack of a better word. It seems to have this theme of wolves. His shield has a big wolf head on it, it looks like. The House of Primarchs. Oh, is he wielding Frostmourne? Yeah, the sword, here we go. The sword does definitely have a resemblance to Frostmourne, there's no doubt about that. What about Stormbringer? You know, the coolest Stormbringer is really, that's a pretty cool sword. But my favorite version, I used to have this book, the book that has this cover on it. Here's another good picture of Elric. I mean, you can see the winged dragon helm, right? Which is just such a staple. You know, and here he's using Stormbringer and Mournblade, which I always thought was the coolest name for a sword. Mournblade is so great. You know, one thing about Stormbringer is it does have a jewel here, and then it does have rune, you know, writings. But I love the cover. This is my favorite picture of Stormbringer, is this one. I just love how it almost looks alien, like the writing in the blade almost looks like alien, like an alien language. Yeah, I love this sword. This version of the sword is my favorite version of the sword. But even here he's got the dragon helm on, right? You know, I have the Stormbringer, the Stormbringer box set. Awesome, by the way. Awesome. Ooh, the fiery is really procking.
Lovely.
I wonder if it... Yeah, that's crazy how many times it procced there. If you look at the Stormbringer into comic books, and I have the Stormbringer, this one set of Stormbringer, I think it's First Comics. Actually, I think it's Elric. It's this one. Actually, this is not it. These are different. Those are different. Those look different. This is the ones I'm talking about. This comic book series, I love the artwork on this comic book series. And this was PC Comics, right? You can still get these issues because nobody wants paper books anymore, right? Nobody wants these. Look at this, Elric on this Sailor on the Seas of Fate. I don't have this. This is the first comics one. I don't think I have this one unless this is a reprint. I don't think I have this one. It looks different. Number 5. It's definitely the same artwork. Yeah. These are the ones that I have. I have these. These are really... Anyways, whatever. Look, $50. That's... You can get them cheaper than that. I'm amazed at how cheap you can get these comics nowadays. It's because nobody wants printed shit anymore. You know, everybody's digital. You know, those comic books, you know, 20 years ago would have probably sold for like $100 for the 6. And today you can get them for like $4 a piece probably. And it's tempting to go out there and buy a lot of that stuff because it's so cheap compared to what it used to be. But it's like I'm just like anybody else. I don't want a bunch of comic books just sitting in my apartment collecting dust because I'm 54 years old. I'm trying to get rid of stuff before I die. You know what I mean? Not collect stuff. You know, when you get to my age, you don't collect stuff. You get rid of stuff. You know. But you don't want to have a house full of just clutter. You don't think that people know about, man, I think, well, I don't know why they don't. I mean, he's definitely, definitely really good. Yeah, well, the comic books, like, when I was younger, I liked them because I read them. And because I like to draw. I'm an artist. I also like to draw. And so I would draw. I would draw the images, and I would read the books. And I just liked owning them because I read them. You know, I'd read them like every, you know, once a year maybe I'd go back and read that stuff. But now, you know, I don't do that anymore. I'm older. I don't do that. I do other stuff. I have more important things. I think when you get older, you know, I'd rather play World of Warcraft than sit around reading comic books, you know. Because we're kind of making my own story inside of WoW, you know, to a degree. My wife's texting me. Hold on a second.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Boy, your eyes are like sapphire. Gee. That's pretty corny though, huh? Boy.
Pretty kitty. Alright. One more grizzled scalp. This is an easy climb.
Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Oh, we have a lot of junk in my inventory. Yeah, the only thing I really keep in my now is my guitars,
Lovely.
like my guitar equipment, my computer stuff, guitars, computers, and then my drawing supplies. I have some books, you know, I have books and art books, and I have a chest full of my drawing supplies, my sketch pads, my colored
Lovely.
pencils, my drawing pencils, all that kind of stuff.
Lovely.
Yeah, that fire weapon does 20%. 20% of my damage is just coming from that weapon enchant. That's insane.
Lovely.
Yeah, I mean most of my stuff that I own that I consider important stuff outside of my, you know, my pets and my wife, it can be fit in one room, and just in my office here, it can fit all of the stuff in my life that I consider important to me. You know what I mean? It all can fit in one room. That's, you know, I don't need, you know, I do have an extensive crystal collection, like extensive crystal collection. I have probably about $4,000 easy worth of crystals, and I have some amazing crystals. But a lot of them are currently packaged up because they're a pain in the butt to repackage. They're really pain to carry because they're so heavy. So a lot of it's already is still packaged away in boxes, and eventually when I get a house, then I'll buy some display cases and, you know, display those in properly in some nice cases. Oh man, they give happiness like plus 20, man. Happiness plus 20, serenity plus 10, spirit plus 20.
Lovely.
I tell you what, just holding some of my crystals like energizes you. You're just like, holy shit, you know, you feel the energy, man. I don't have any good pictures. I don't think. All right, show you some of them because, and like I said, most of them are packed away. I do have a really cool tourmaline right next to me though. Hold on a second. It's actually a very super cool tourmaline. My light. Let's see how well this. Here, I took a picture. This tourmaline's the size of a football. I'll put it in my Discord. It's just on one of the shelves underneath my desk here, my computer desk. Discord. It's like, oh, that picture's really blurry. Unfortunately, that picture came out really blurry. But this tourmaline here is almost the size of like a football. It's that big. That picture's really blurry, unfortunately. That kind of sucks that it came out so blurry. Let me see if I can get a better picture. There we go, it's a little better. Of course, it rotated it wrong, but... But I mean, you can really see the... This thing is, like I said, it's almost the size of a football. And I actually got that for... And it's a tourmaline. It's normally something that large would be probably like $400. I found it in a little shop in a small town, Micanopy, Florida, where they filmed the movie Doc Holliday. If you ever saw the movie Doc Holliday, and the lady was selling it for like $120, and I was like, $120? I was like, I'll take it. And normally a tourmaline that big would easily be like $300 or $400. And of course, that's sitting next to this other crystal. Here, hold on a second. This one, here, I'll put it on my mouse pad. This one I just thought was a cool formation. But yeah, I've always liked crystals. Like, this is a pretty cool formation. Let's see. But these are just crappy crystals compared to the really good crystals I have that are packed away. Blow this shit away. This shit's just cheap compared to some of the ones I have. You know, these are just, you know, silly little crystals. They're cool in their own right, but they don't have the quality of some of the ones that I have. I've got some crystals that are like, you know, that are $700 or $800 crystals that are so incredibly like pure, you know, crystal clear and just beautiful crystals. I like the earth. I can't help it. I like trees. I like forests. I've always been that way. Anything that's natural to the planet, I kind of like. Like here's a, you know, just a pretty basic crystal formation. I just liked that the crystals themselves, the individual pieces, were so, you know, so well defined. Especially this one here is really cool. You know, it's pretty big. I mean, it's pretty. Yeah. Now this one Probably wasn't that much. I probably paid like $80 or $50 for that. Probably not even that much. I usually don't buy crystals unless I get a pretty good deal. I mean, I know the price of crystals. You know what I mean? I know what I shouldn't pay. But I mean, there's a lot of variety. If you go to like Etsy, and look at crystals, it's insane. It's so crazy. Like you'll see people try to get away with so much on Etsy. You know, crystals are, because there's no real set price for a crystal. It's all the beauty of the beholder, right? It's just, crystals are like artwork. It's all like, how much are you willing to pay for that piece of artwork? You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to. It's like, how much do you as a person value that picture? You know, what it does for you, how much it makes you happy. Crystals are the same way. There's one crystal, someone might pay $10 for a crystal, another person might pay, $200. It all comes down to how much you enjoy looking at it, how much you think that whatever, it brings you happiness. I mean, there's some people that really believe that the crystals do have a positive effect on you. I can tell you that when I touch all the crystals, when I handle a lot of crystals, I definitely feel a lot of energy. I definitely feel very energized, like I drank a Red Bull or something. And that could just be because I get excited, I'm like, oh, these are cool. It's like a kid going into a candy store. You kind of get that energy rush. You're like, oh, look at all this cool candy. Or maybe when you go to like Harry Potter World or something and you love Harry Potter and you're like, you get that energy rush. I get the same energy rush when I'm looking at crystals. I'm like, oh, these are cool. These are badass, and so I get super excited, Is it the crystals giving me the energy rush, or is it just me being excited? Who knows, man, but whatever. But yeah, I've got some amazing crystals. There's the cool thing about some of them is they have what's called let's do, my favorite is smoky citrine crystal with what are they called inside? Damn it, I'm blanking. I can't remember what it's called when the stuff's inside of it. I'm blanking. Let's see if we can find some high quality. It's like, and what some people think is high quality it really isn't high quality, right? And plus, a lot of this shit's man-made too. So, but what I'm saying is, you're gonna see all this stuff, and the prices are gonna be so varied. Like, like this is fake. This one here looks like a fake one. It says natural. I don't know. It looks fake. This one's pretty. It's okay. A lot of these aren't very. The polish on them. A lot of times the polish. Like this one here is pretty nice. This is a natural crystal, and this is what they call flash. This is just, obviously the light reflections going through the crystals. But here's a really nice, I like smoky that looks, these are nice. But it just comes down to what you like. But somebody may pay, like this here, someone may charge you $50 for this. Someone may try to charge you $300 for this, and it's hilarious. And you go to, none of these here are anywhere near the quality of some of the ones I have. Like, none of these are even close. This one's a pretty nice piece. But again, none of these are super great. This one's really rough. Yeah, all of these are, Again, this one's okay. It's not bad, but yeah, none of these that we're looking at even come close to some of the ones I have. That's why some of the ones I have are as expensive as they are, because the quality of them is so high. There was one crystal I bought that's about 10 inches long, and it's big, right? And the guy was trying to sell it for $700, and he did like a Christmas sale where he was trying to like basically sell a bunch of stuff on Christmas, and I talked him down to $300 for that one. So I bought a $700 crystal for $300, and it was worth every penny, man. And that one's stored away in storage somewhere in my closet probably. But whenever I get a house, when I get my house, we'll get a nice case, and we'll have a nice pretty display case with some of that stuff. Or if I get sick of it, I'll just sell it. I'll go to Etsy
Kiss your ass goodbye.
and sell it.
You were screwed.
Good thing about crystals though is they do tend to be going up in value. Like the value of them does tend to be going up. So most of the stuff I have, if I were to sell it in say 10 years from now, I probably would make a lot more money than what I paid for it. I really need to train up my Holy Light because this Holy Light's so weak. It's like not even worth casting because it's so
Lovely.
weak.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Lovely. Lovely.
No, I don't. I don't know what is. I don't know what it's for. What's it for? Right? Like, what's the point of it? Like,
You were screwed.
I don't really look at Turtle WoW. I mean, I don't look at stuff that I'm not going to play. Like, why bother looking at it if I'm not going to play it? I'm not going to play any Turtle WoW until they come out with Turtle WoW 2, right? So I won't even look at stuff like that because it's like, what's the point? You know, I don't, you know, FOMO can be kind of a thing, but you know, that shit doesn't usually faze me too much. So if I'm not going to play it, what's the point of looking at it? Like sometimes if it's, I mean, you know, yeah, I'm not going to play Turtle WoW, not the current version. I've been there, done that. The client's too laggy. I don't like the client.
What brings you here?
Hmm.
Goddess watch over you.
Yeah, well, I haven't played it in a while. Like, but I always thought that some of their content that they created was really good. But you know, definitely some of it was rougher than others. But I do feel like lately it feels like they've been rushing content out. Maybe I'm wrong on that take. There's a lot more competition for Classic Plus stuff, and now that it sounds like Blizzard's actually going to be putting out possibly Blizzard's working on a Classic Plus right now, which I believe they probably are. So Turtle WoW is probably in a little bit like damage control, almost panic mode, because they know that, you know, that you've got Project Epoch, which I think is going to take a while before that ever gets to a state where it's super playable, you know? That's the problem with these private servers, is they always hype stuff up. Like, oh, look at this, it's great, it's amazing. But then when it comes out, it's just rough. They don't have the polish. They don't have the teams. They don't always have the they don't always have, like, enough people on their teams to be able to put stuff out in a timely fashion, right? There's usually, like, one or two, like, really smart people that know what they're doing. But one or two people can't do everything, you know what I mean? So it was almost killed by the Chinese.
Lovely.
Oh, did Turtle WoW get a big influx of Chinese people like not Epoch, what's that other private server? Everlook. When Blizzard stopped releasing, you know, letting WoW be played in China, when they stopped their publishing agreement with the Chinese, all those Chinese players flooded to Everlook, and Everlook was like, I swear, like half of the server was Chinese.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Well, Season Discovery is, I've never liked Season. I played Season
You were
Discovery,
screwed.
and it just wasn't that good. It really wasn't. It was pretty bad. The balance, I mean, there were so many bugs. The balancing was awful. It just wasn't that good. Yeah, I know. And they went. I didn't know they went to Turtle WoW. I knew they went to Everlook. Oh, it was. Is that? I remember seeing the population get super high, like 18,000 or something. Yeah, I mean, it was bad. That's the thing with Turtle WoW. That was always my complaint, is that the client isn't very. It doesn't. There's a lot of lag on their client, and when the server had more than like 4,000 people, it got worse. And there were times when Turtle WoW had 8, 10, 12,000 people on it, and it was just like you said, it was almost unplayable. You know? Yeah, I saw a lot of cheaters on Turtle WoW. People with the flying hack, where they're literally flying through the air. I'm not. That's another thing. You can bash Blizzard as much as you want, and I fall victim to that. I've bashed Blizzard tons of times. But the one thing you can't bash Blizzard for is that their servers do run smoothly. Like at least all their classic servers run very smoothly. Like I'm here in a classic server. During this last hour of gameplay, not once have I experienced any like lag, any kind of hiccup, nothing. It's been completely smooth the entire time. And you don't usually get that on private servers. You don't. And so it's hard. And this client, especially when they came out with this client, this 1.14 client for Classic is so good. I mean, it's really good. Like the graphics in this are so much better than a private server. It's hard. You gotta give Blizzard credit, man. Well, yeah, but the client, man, the Blizzard created this client. You know what I mean? They made this client, so you got to give them credit. And who's paying for the hardware? Blizzard's paying for it. You can't not give them credit. They're the one footing the bill. Why does Turtle WoW not running on good hardware? Because they don't want to pay the extra money, probably, right? You cutting corners on money, then you pay for it. You pay for it with lag, man. Like when you looked at like the Northdale servers and the Lights Hope servers, those servers ran good. That's why Nostalrius and like Lights Hope and Northdale, that's why those servers were so populated, because they ran really good. Those clients ran very, very smoothly. Oh, all private servers are done for money. Don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. Almost every single private server in existence is there to make them money. Because why would you as a person spend so much time out of your life and get nothing in return for it, right? All private servers are there for money. I mean, Warmane makes a shit ton of money. I want to play some Elion. I want to see if Elion's still up. I've got to reinstall the client though, I think. Apparently the servers are down.
Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Okay, I don't know if I still have it. Do I still have it, man? Hold on one second. Looks like they said, it looks like the server is currently down, unfortunately. But yeah, I would like to go in and play some Elion again. It's a fun game. Just for the combat, but not today though. A little bit of a grind getting the Moonstalker pelts, but we're gonna do it. It's the runt. Level 19 though.
Lovely.
Ouch.
Lovely.
Shit. Shit!
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
You were screwed. Lovely.
Nice. Little fortuitous fiery enchant proc. I don't think, yeah, well, the Starius took donations, right? Starius, Northdale, all those servers took donations. So people could donate to help pay for the fact that they were hosting the servers. So whether or not they made much money, I have no idea. So I was going to say, Starius is probably one of the few servers that probably wasn't really trying to make money out of it. But that was really very, one of the only servers that did that. I mean, you look at something like Everlook, Turtle WoW, Ascension WoW, Warmane, all these servers they're in it for to make money. And they do make money. Freaking Ascension makes a shit ton of money. Ascension and Warmane are probably the top money-making private servers. They both make a ton. And Ascension WoW is the only private server I ever donated any significant money to. I mean, Turtle WoW too. Turtle WoW over like 3 or 4 years, I think I donated maybe $100. But Ascension WoW, I probably put in like $300 into Ascension WoW in the span of 2 months, just because it was so addictive. It's like they had all these really cool things that you wanted to buy, like cool mounts and just there were a lot of things that on their cash shop that were hard to say no to because they were just really good things. They were things that made leveling a little faster, or things that made your leveling experience a little bit more fun. And I don't know, it was just they did a good job of offering you of stuff that you kind of wanted, stuff you're like, I kind of want that.
Lovely.
Like the only thing I pay for in Classic WoW is just the subscription. That's it. I don't buy anything else really. I think I bought like 1 server transfer recently, and that was about it. I think I did buy a character boost when Cataclassic came out because I didn't want to level a character from 1 all the way to, so that, which I kind of mad that I did that because I only played Cataclassic for a couple weeks, and I was like, fuck this. This is not even a couple weeks. I think I played it for like a week, so that was a total waste of money, to be honest. What is he giving me is the buffs. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got to go learn Blessing of Wisdom here pretty soon. Let's check the other side. What, for shame? For what, buying a boost? Nah, I wasn't boosting through Cataclysm content. I just wanted to boost high enough levels so I could actually go into Cata with a character that was ready to go. But because I leveled one character up. I leveled one character up to max level in preparation for Cataclassic, but then I wanted to play another character, and I didn't have one on that server that I was on, so I wasn't gonna level from 1 to like 70. Fuck, there's no fucking way, man. would have taken me too long, so I just boosted him. But I regretted it instantly, and if I could go back, I would not have done that. I'm not a fan of boosting, and yeah, I definitely regretted that. That was a mistake. So because it was just a waste of money, to be honest. But in general, I don't spend a lot of money on WoW servers other than just the subscription. So. I have no idea. I don't think it's doing particularly well, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, I mean, I would just be guessing, really, because I really don't know if it's doing well or not. All right, so we still need our fine crab chunks, and then we also need our fishing. So let's take care of the fishing. Let's take care of this bear.
Lovely.
This looks like a nice place to fish, doesn't it? Why not? What's my fishing skill at? Fishing is currently 102. Alright, cool. Let's do the in-game sound for a little while. Am I winning? Hey, what's up, Tasty? I don't know if I'm winning or not. I'm not losing. We're just leveling. Protection Paladin's a grind, man. It's a slow grind, but it's a fun grind. This is a slow grind. Oh, I see Cargos is live. Is it live or is it Memorex? Nah, it's Cargos, Twitch. I hate how whenever you go to Twitch, it always like always has to play ads. Crap, man. Can't stand Twitch. Oh, Cargos has got his Instagram up. This guy looks familiar. Kind of surprising that Cargos would put his Instagram link on his Twitch. Wow, putting himself out there. You know, gotta be careful, man. There's a lot of creeps on the internet, man. You know what I mean? I have an Instagram, but I don't use it at all. So, looks like Cargos is in the molten core. We need to get up to so we can do molten core. Yeah, I wouldn't put Instagram on my, I mean, I'm sure people could probably find your Instagram pretty easily. It's not hard to find someone's Instagram, but I wouldn't voluntarily probably put it up there. But whatever. Sometimes, I mean, it would almost suck to be a big streamer in a way, because once you're like get really big, there's just you have so many people that snooping around your life. You know what I mean? I'm hungry. But I already ate it. I ate a mushroom and Swiss burger for lunch. From Hooters. And it was pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, my wife's calling me. Hold on a second. Okay, I gotta help my wife with something real quick. I won't be gone long. Be back in a couple minutes. All right. This guy's saying that the Elion servers are dead because everybody's playing Throne of Liberty. Throne of Liberty beta runs till next week. I'm not going to bother playing the Throne of Liberty beta, I don't think. I mean, I've already played Throne of Liberty a lot. I don't really anticipate that I'll probably even play Throne of Liberty that much, just because the combat's not that good. The world, though, I will say the world in Throne of Liberty is actually really nice, and the storyline actually isn't too bad. You know, it's better than some others. Thanks, Tasty. It's better than some other games. Like there's some cool stuff in the story. I mean, it's done in a way that's fun to watch. I mean, the cutscenes and stuff are pretty cool.
Feel free to browse. Go in peace.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
it's Stripe. The Throne and Liberty beta has been up for over a day now, and I've been playing and grinding it, so I wanted to give a first impressions video for the game. Now, typically when it comes to MMOs, I like to put in at least a couple hundred hours before I do a full review of the game, which is why this is going to be more of a first impressions, talking about the class system, the weapon system, the world questing dungeons. We've done some dungeons now, some of the open world events, the size of the world, and how I think the MMO is going to serve us overall. I think graphically the game looks awesome. It runs really well, and also you can see right now we happen to have one of the world events going on where this sky whale flies over the sky and blesses us. He gives us bonuses which you can trigger with equipment and stuff like that, and he also will periodically drop items you can collect to turn in for events and stuff like that. But he's also quite majestic. If you catch him in the night, he'll glow like bioluminescent glow all over the sky and have glowing, and he kind of covers the whole map. You can see him on the map here. He'll just sky whale around, which is pretty unique. Now, when it comes to worlds, you're going to get basically the usual stuff you have for this. And I think that this is, at least aesthetically, kind of more of a vanilla MMO. All characters that you create are humanoid, either humanoid masculine or humanoid feminine. There are no creature races. You can't be a stone golem or a dragon person or a goblin or that kind of variety there, which is pretty typical of games that come out of Korea. In general, you get a little bit more modern fashion focus, like more relatable humanoid or humanistic aspects to the characters. And at least for me, this game kind of scratches a similar itch that BDO does for me, but in a more traditional sense. This feels like a more well-rounded traditional MMO, whereas BDO is more of like an action, almost fighting game kind of MMO with combos and moving around at high speeds, whereas this is going to be more tab targeting, using skills, and using combos. They do have some nice quick time event triggers, like right here you can see the purple rings coming in on the enemy. There's actually a perfect parry. These are called event triggers, like right here you can see the purple rings coming in on the enemy. There's actually a perfect around at high speeds, whereas this is going to be more tab targeting, using skills, and using combos. They do have some nice quick time event triggers, like right here you can see the purple rings coming in on the enemy. There's actually a perfect parry. These are called Fury attacks, and all bosses and enemies have them. And which parry you use is related to the weapon you have in hand and what you have equipped. As far enemies have them, and which parry you use is related to the weapon you have in hand and what you have equipped. As far as stability and performance, I would say it's definitely above average. The game has improved dramatically since its closed testing phase, and it's at the point where I can say I can recommend it for people that are interested in MMO games. And I think it's got enough there that if they, manage to pull off the end game, which we would want to test a lot more before we comment too much on, but just focus on the fact that the baseline is there. The combat feels different. At first, the combat feels really weird, and we'll get into that in a second when we talk about the skills and the weapons and creating your own class and how that kind of goes into the process of playing and creating your own gameplay, which can have positives and negatives associated with it. But I would say that the visual effects look nice, it functions well, it plays well overall, and once you get used to the oddities of Throne and Liberty, it's definitely a great entry in the MMO genre. But let's dive into The class system from Throne and Liberty, it's not entirely new. You've seen it in many places before, but they do some original things that you'll want to have to understand how it works. So there aren't a traditional archetype class setup in Throne and Liberty. You're not going to be able to pick Priest or Dragon Knight or Warrior. Or whatever, you're going to create your own class. So it's very similar to games like New World, where you have a set of weapons that you choose. Those weapons have stats and different characteristics that are associated with them, and they also come with their own list of abilities. Then when you equip a weapon, you can also equip an offhand, so you'll be able to swap between two weapons during your gameplay, and you can do this while you're moving around as well. You can press tilde on PC, which allows you to switch between your two chosen weapons, and between that, you'll be able to get different stats for it. The stat system is very simple. You have 4 main stats: strength, dexterity, wisdom, and perception. Perception gives you chance to hit. It gives you CC increase. Wisdom gives you mana. Dexterity gives you crit and evasion. Strength gives you HP. And you can mix and match those, and kind of like New World, it does have breakpoints as well. As you put more and more points into those specific stats or raise their stat level through the gear that you put on, you'll be able to get bonus effects. So for wisdom, for example, you get max mana or cooldown speed. For strength, as you get higher and higher, you get damage reduction for a tank roll, that sort of thing. Aside from weapons, you have your basic gear set up. You have 6 equipment slots for your main gear. You have 5 jewelry slots for accessories that get different benefits, and you'll be upgrading those through different sets. But the primary setup for your class is going to be your 2 weapons and also the customization of the skills in-game as well. So this is where you make your own class, and it's a lot more flexible than I would say many of the weapon-specific class creation systems that I've encountered. This might actually be the best one that I've played with so far. So if you look on the screen here, you see that I have a wand and a staff equipped. Of those, we have 10 different ability slots that we can have equipped, and each weapon has an option of 9 each. So you can specify more into one weapon. You can specify maybe 50-50 if you wanted, or some kind of blend between the two, and what you choose allows you to create your own class. So you might be able to do lightning damage, burning damage, frost damage, and fire damage, but you'll notice that they have global status effects on these, or global titles. So for example, a dot effect is called a weaken, as well as a curse effect, as well as a poison effect. So since they're all called weakens, there are things that you can get with different classes that improve weakens or allow you to control or consume weakens to make big explosions happen, which is really cool. So you can make builds that way. So you can maybe go more staff than wand, and you can choose between those. Then on the right side of the screen, you have your passives. There's 7 passives per weapon, and you can have a total of 8. So again, 1 less per weapon that you would get. So you can specify all crossbow or all greatsword -1, and then just get 1 filler slot. Or you can find a mix between the 2 that makes sense for your character. But you can see how this can get interesting, right? Because we can start mix and matching different things. So for example, if we mix the greatsword, which has a lot of burst damage, but also a lot of self-sustain, they have like rallying cries and battle shouts that can help them sustain. They also have taunts that they can use, and so does the shield effect. So you can actually combine together the pull from the sword and shield with the big AoE slam or the big spin coming out of the greatsword. You can run with the like the crossbow and the bow, which has some great synergy as well. And you can even have benefits between these on passives. There's a passive on these that make it so that when you're using longbow or crossbow, you get a chance to shoot additional projectiles. But because you can specify how many of each, it's not a fixed amount that you can use.
Can I help you?
You can use 9 longbow skills if you want, which gives you more focus on that, and then 1 extra skill, which means your offhand weapon would matter a little bit less when you're trying to combine them together. Next, you'll be able to increase the mastery experience of these weapons by using them or consuming consumables that grant mastery XP, and you'll be able to specify even further how you want to use that weapon, which again reinforces this idea that you create your own playstyle, right? So even within the crossbow here, we can go to the regen tree, the move tree, or the chain fire tree, right? Giving us more additional damage. We focus on DPS. If we're using the crossbow as an offhand on a healing spec, so maybe we're using wand as our main source of healing as a support character, but rather than like staff or longbow, which have utility effects, maybe we run the crossbow as our offhand instead, and we focus on going down the regen set. So we actually get more mana regen or health regen or defense to make ourselves a little bit tankier, and we kind of combine all that together. We even get mana cost efficiency. So you have this like layering system of which 2 weapons you choose to make your class, which of those, 18 abilities that you have available do you slot into your 10 slots, and which of those 14 passives do you slot into your 8 passive slots. Combine all of that together and then start specifying your mastery for the weapons as well, and you can really create some unique play styles. Like you can be a primary damage dealer that has on like daggers. This has become very handy in dungeons. There is an ability called Phantom Smokescreen that makes all party members dodge damage for 3 seconds. You can run dagger as an offhand for a healer spec, or maybe even as a tank spec, right? You can run like sword and board or great sword as a tank, and then you can run daggers as an offhand and run that smokescreen so that when you see a big boss mechanic coming in, you can pop the smoke screen, people avoid the damage, and then you go back to your great sword or your sword and board and start dealing damage that way. There's also evasion. It's possible you could be an evasion tank versus a upfront damage or block tank, that sort of thing. And then damage gets even more complicated as well, and how you mix and match those matters, and then how you specify the mastery tree makes a difference as well. Now, I'm not going to talk about equipment skills, guardian skills, and transcendent skills. Transcendent skills, to me, I'm a little wishy-washy on, because these are things that are granted to people that score or rank highly in activities. So if you do really well in some activities, you can unlock these transcendent skills and use them. I don't know how much of an impact this is going to be. I'm sure they're going to be really good for like group-wide sieges or world bosses where there's a lot of people going on, but I'm not sure how that's going to affect your overall gameplay, because generally they have long cooldowns. Equipment skills are going to be available, as far as I know, to all players, all specs, all everything, which means you'll be able to create some really unique things, but without knowing the extent that they go through, I'll leave that on just for a first impressions video. Now, in general, I'm usually not very excited about these kind of systems existing in MMOs. I think think it creates a lot of freedom, but in many cases it can also cause some damage for the MMO as well, as some people end up getting too caught in choice paralysis, where they're not sure what to mix with what or why, and a lot of the changes can feel really small or minuscule, or there can be some expectations. Watching New World, which kind of pioneered this a little bit, at least from a mainstream standpoint, they're not the first game to ever do this kind of swapping system, but at least from an MMO standpoint, they were one of the biggest. And so watching that grow over time, where people learned to use the life staff or the musket or the sword and board or the void gauntlet with different combos, and people kind of, even though they wanted to create this system where people could be perfectly free, eventually metas were established. People figured out what combos were best, what was the right order of stats, what was the right combination of abilities. And I think that the New World system being more rigid than this will be a nice study case on whether or not this system can thrive. Because again, you could be a primary crossbow user, mostly crossbow passives, mostly crossbow abilities, with one or two variants from other abilities that other weapons you don't use too much, or you could have a mixture. So there's going to be a lot more expression, I think, in Throne and Liberty for creating your class and creating your experience that might be pretty unique and fun. Now let's take a minute to address the monetization and progression in the game, because there's still a question on how far they're going to go. They started out with a very aggressive scheme in the early stages of the game, and we're not sure how much of this is going to change based on Amazon AGS publishing the game. They did make changes to Lost Ark when they published that. They were planning to make changes to Blue Protocol, and might still if it still launches, and we might see some changes for the monetization and scheme for this game as well. As it stands right now in the open beta, it's not as aggressive as we thought. There is a battle pass. You can get a premium battle pass that does give you some progression in game. So you'll be able to unlock this to get special costumes, and there's also a leveling log. So if we go to our leveling log here, you can see that this is just a kind of like a leveling set of challenges to complete to get bonuses, but you can also buy a leveling log pass, which if you buy this for currency, you will actually get growth stones, special materials, base materials, improvement book selection chests, and training book selection chests. So this allows you to raise the level of your gear, add traits to your gear, raise up your mastery experience, craft better gear. So this leveling pass, which does have a price associated with it, is going to be something that does give you progress and power in game. And the battle pass is that way as well. There's a premium battle pass that will give you a morph for the character as well as the skins, and will give you some progression materials as well. This magic powder can be crafted into equipment. You can level it up as well. You can even get some of these here. You get some of the baseline on the free level, but it's mostly in-game materials that can be useful. And this is why it feels a little bit like it is kind of closer to BDO, where you can play BDO perfectly for free. You're just going to progress a little bit slower. I wouldn't say it's as pay to win as a game like Lost Ark is, in that kind of vein, where you can literally just spend $10,000, radically advance your character and get way ahead of everyone and get very strong. But there is a limit to how much you can spend and how much you can get, and most of it's with these kind of smaller purchases. So I'd say it's much more friendly in that standpoint. But if you want to spend money, and even spend a small amount of money, you can certainly do that and get a decent amount of progression and bonus and benefit, kind of like the seasonal passes in Black Desert Online. The dungeon design is nothing completely new, so let's split it up into the gameplay experience of the dungeon, and then also into the layering of the dungeon. So you'll fight bosses, you'll clear ads, you'll do mechanics. It feels just like any other dungeon you've ever done in MMOs, and boss mechanics that go along with that. However, the basic small form dungeon setup is 1 tank, 4 DPS, and 1 support character. However, keep in mind that anyone, including the tank or the DPS, could be running support for heals. Anyone, including the DPS and the healer, could be running with the smokescreen effect. Tank, they can even run with a great sword or a sword and board, and taunt for off tanking. So because there's so much flexibility in the character creation and the build creation, I think there's going to be a lot of flexibility in how people create groups and how they put them together, and maybe a meta will eventually go on. I think this block mechanic is a nice added change to the game. You can see the purple ring going in the QuickTime event. Having that as part of the core game is a nice added benefit there. And I think overall the dungeons make for a very nice instance experience. However, there are layers clear as you'll do mechanics. It feels just like any other dungeon you've ever done in MMOs, and boss mechanics that go along with that. However, the basic like small form dungeon setup is 1 tank, 4 DPS, and 1 support character. However, keep in mind that anyone, including the tank or the DPS, could be running support for heals. Anyone, including the DPS and the healer, could be running with the smokescreen effect, tank. They can even run with a great sword or a sword and board and taunt for off tanking. So because there's so much flexibility in the character creation and the build creation, I think there's going to be a lot of flexibility in how people create groups and how they put them together, and maybe a meta will eventually go on. I think this block mechanic is a nice added change to the game. You can see the purple ring going in the quick time event. Having that as part of the core game is a nice added benefit there. And I think overall, a lot of flexibility in how people create groups and how they put off tanking. So because there's so much flexibility in the character creation and the build creation, I think there's going to be a lot of flexibility in how people create groups and how they put them together, and maybe a meta will eventually go on. I think this block mechanic is eventually go on. I think this put them together, and maybe a meta will eventually go on. I think this block mechanic is a nice added change to the game. You can, and maybe a meta will eventually go on. I think this block mechanic is a nice added change to the game. You can see the purple ring going in.
You need something? See you around.
brings you here? You need something? Have a good one.
Oh my God, I've been talking for like 10 minutes and you guys haven't heard anything. I was just going I can't believe it was muted. Yes, you can waste the whole day playing World of Warcraft. I can't believe I was muted. I can't believe you guys in the stream didn't say anything. It's because everybody left the stream. But I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. I got to walk the dog. I think I'm going to check out some Throne of Liberty for a bit, play some Throne of Liberty. I might stream that, and then I will be playing this Paladin again later this evening, and be streaming then. And then tomorrow I'm taking my wife's, we're going to my wife's parents' house, so I probably won't be playing tomorrow until probably tomorrow evening or tomorrow night. But I hope you guys are having a great Saturday, and I will talk to you all later, man.